I'm here with Kurt Metzger. Kurt, I've been a fan of you for a long time. I love your comedy. I love the shit that you're interested in and that you delve into. So I'm really excited about this. It's an honor
Me
to
too,
have you here.
man. There's a really nice tight desk. I feel like a young Reiner with his dad.
Are you about to murder me?
No, I'm about to kiss you on the lips. You know, he kiss on the lips, the Reiner and his son.
Really?
Yeah, anybody think that's weird?
I would have killed my dad too.
My dad would have told me to kill him. My dad would have said to me, if I ever do anything like that, you better kill me. Because it was toxic masculinity where I grew up. But, yeah.
Well, and there you
Yo,
know.
look, put the pic. Oh, can you put pictures up?
No, I can't.
Ah, all right. Well, Google Carl Reiner kissing Rob Reiner, and you tell me if something looks off to you. And then we'll look at the Daily Mail headline. They would fight and then kiss on the lips to make up. You think that's a normal thing to Brady kiss your son for 3 generations? I don't.
No, it sounds like a Jew thing.
No. Well, it sounds like a type of Satanism is what it sounds like, which is Hollywood.
It's the same thing.
Because I mean, I'm no Torah expert, but yeah, you're not supposed to make out with your dad. I know I took that from my church time. That sacred knowledge that was given to the Hebrews by
The church will teach you what not to do. with your
well, that's
elders.
the only reason you have a law. It's a reflection of how you suck. So, you see, you got your Bitcoin here. So, everybody's gonna get hawk to it until we get to World War III. Finally, everybody's gonna have shit coins. You saw Malay hawk to it, his own country. Trump, they had that rug pull coin when he got in. Every scumbag. Not now. Bitcoin probably. If I bought crypto, it'd probably only be Bitcoin. There might maybe Ethereum or something. What other ones are kind of good? All the shitcoin ones are absolutely there so that someone loses their money and you'll get away with a rug pull. You don't need rug pulls, you can get away with it. It's fine. And the reason they're doing that is to enough people getting ripped off. They're going to demand more regulation, like that little FTX kid wanted, right? Because he's going to be in charge of it. You need the infrastructure set up for the regulation. So through this series of scams and everybody losing all their shit, we get an infrastructure of regulations in place. Then we go to our central digital currency. And by that time, we should have Greenland all the way down to Venezuela for the Noah Hyde technate that was promised us in the book of Elon Musk's grandpa.
So I think every crypto is shitty except for Bitcoin. I think that's the one.
That's the one that I should have bought that my friends told me to buy, and it cost nothing, and I could have just done it. But knowing me, dude, I would have lost. I don't know if you know any of these poor lost souls that lost a Bitcoin password, but like, I don't even know when they tell me about it. I'm like, just stop talking about it, dude. I would jump off a bridge if I did that.
I got hacked out of 7 Bitcoin many years ago. And they just paid me back 2 months ago.
What do you mean they paid you back?
There was a lawsuit. I didn't personally get hacked. The company got hacked.
Who was it?
The exchange got hacked. It was Mt. Gox.
Mount what?
Gox.
Okay.
It hasn't been around for a long time. It because there used to be this thing where you could buy it on Mt. Gox for like $100, and then you could sell it on Coinbase for $130. So I was just
Right.
buying and selling, making 30%
Wait, ain't that how
margin.
Sam Bankman-Fried, but he figured out with other markets you could do that real quick? And that's
No,
what
he was just doing straight up fraud.
No,
I was doing arbitrage.
His first money he made though. I thought what he did was he saw the thing in the market where you could just how you just described. And by the way, I'm stupid, so I don't know numbers good. But I'm
You're more of a shapes
discalculating
and colors guy.
shapes, colors, thing. I can tell you what a thing is when you put it in my mouth. Oh, it's a pipe.
Wait, let's test this out.
I was a gay kid.
You were raised gay?
No, gay. I was in gate.
I was raised gay.
You were. What do
I
you
was
mean?
also in gate. My dad was gay. I'm pretty sure. And
Was it a
He
gateway?
took me to musical theaters, like plays.
Oh my God. I feel like you just hold on. I got to process everything you just said. Now, let me ask you this. Did you ever get in a fight with Papa and give him a good kiss on the lips?
No, I never Rob Reinered him.
You ever give it? Oh, Rob Reiner made a video in '97 about how to touch your baby properly. Because the first 3 months are the most formative years of the child's life. So,
And the man knows best of how to handle a baby, of course.
well, okay, not to focus on Rob Reiner with it. I very much enjoyed The Princess Bride, for the record.
And Wolf of Wall Street.
why would you make that video? Like, what? Nobody knows how to hold a. Should I drop it on the ground? Oh no, I should actually raise it and not abuse it. Okay, thanks for making that video to tell me. I read between the lines of that a lot, and I think that's one of those programming things. You know, like if you have the eyes to see it, that's how these people get by doing these kind of things. What's that?
I'm taking notes because you're throwing a lot at me. It's making me think of a lot of stuff I want to bring up later. Okay, I want to start here. I mean, we're already started, but let's start at the beginning. The beginning of human existence.
Time. Okay.
So I was telling you off air, I created a religion called the Interdimensional Temple.
I know you blew my fucking mind.
What I believe
just sprung it on me
is that 7 beings called the Anunnaki came from heaven to earth.
There's only 7 of them
at first, and then they interbreeded, reproduced, and then there was a bunch more. And then,
don't you hate the name Anunnaki? I hate it.
I don't mind it.
I wish I could say Anu or something, or like gnocchi, like the potato-based pasta.
I mean, one of the dudes was named Anu.
Yeah, right. It's his gnocchis that came out. Look, I hate them. Whatever they are.
Hey, don't knocky my Anu, bro.
I hate that shit. Now I'm having Gary Wayne on the Dirt with Kurt. Maybe the next episode.
Wait, you're just trying to roll past that?
No, he deals.
What are you saying you hate? Just
Anunnaki?
The name or the concept?
I hate pyramids. Number one.
Why do you hate? How do you hate pyramids?
Because it's a symbol of our slavery. It's a generational project. See, I know everybody thinks Anunnakis. Those motherfuckers don't do no heavy lifting. They're not going to lift shit themselves. They were
the 1%.
That's right. And so if you can look it up online, there's a guy who made his own Stonehenge in his fucking backyard with tools he made.
I saw that.
And you watch the tricks he did to do it. It's
the
pretty.
Teetering.
Yo, it's brilliant. And one guy. And so when I saw that, I'm like, okay, so that one guy is that smart, and he's cutting all the shit. Just see a simple thing, right? Well, let's say we could all be telepathic, or I could program you all to be that one guy that made one Stonehenge in his yard, but I got a whole team of slaves that I can make as smart as that guy, and I can unite their brain so they work almost as like a hive mind. And it's just humans. They're not giants, let's say, just for argument. They're just humans. Maybe they have a chip in their head in a future equivalent where we're all connected. And think of the Amish throwing up a barn, or Jehovah's Witnesses, where they would make a kingdom hall in 2 days. When everybody's united in purpose, you can get some crazy shit done. Shit that you would never think you could do without UFO power. And I'll bet you there's some kind of power from the stupid Anunnaki, and go rot in the abyss, you fucking fucks. There's some power where they could chain all the humans together, have them like the equivalent of mining Bitcoin, but to build something like a pyramid. And then that pyramid, because it takes generations to make, it's a symbol of long-term planning, wealth, generational wealth. Everybody else, like when you hear people talk about the nuclear family, you've already been demoted, stupid. That's not conservative. They already, before you were born, they already atomized you into the nuclear family. But rich assholes got all generations of their family. They got, Nancy Pelosi got 16 kids, right?
What does nuclear family mean?
You know,
just like a wife and kids and a white picket fence.
You know, it means not that much more than China that I know everybody likes to talk shit about. They had a one-child policy, but all we did was propaganda to people that it's mom, dad, parent, 2 kids, suburban house, right? We did it with propaganda, which is why we feel superior to somebody ordering you to do it, because it's more subtle. That's why America's better. It's more subtle, the occult magic they use to control you. And so then, all that Anunnaki shit that fucking, what's his guy? It's not Von Daniken, it's Sitchin.
Zachariah Sitchin.
So he worked for Rockefeller. That's where that's coming from.
Really?
Oh my, yes.
I didn't know that.
Dark journalist, Dark Journalist. I got put on to Dark Journalist by Nathan Reynolds. Dark Journalist, one of the best channels, and that's why I knew about Joseph P. Farrell before Dark Journalist. But
so, what do you think the origins of humanity are?
Well, I'm going to ask Gary Wayne about that tomorrow. Gary Wayne's a very Christian guy, but I never heard this when I was growing up Christian.
Are you Christian?
No, I'm not. I believe in God. Sometimes I behave Christian, but most of the time I don't. But I would never say I'm anything. You could say, how you act is what you were, motherfuckers. So
I think God created something that created something that created the Anunnaki that created us.
Well, that's what the Kabbalah tells us, but that's really? What Kabbalah teaches, the emanations. But I'll put it this way.
Expand on that.
You know, it's going to be a whole bunch. Here, let me make it real simple without any of this gibberish. What I think. This is what I think. I'm not telling you this is true, but I think this. It's just like an author. So George R. R. Martin wrote, he's not afraid of the Mountain from Game of Thrones because he created the Mountain and he created the protagonist and the antagonist, but he's the author. So Satan, if you were into Satan, let's say, he's not the enemy of God. Satan would be the enemy of you. The name means adversary. It's a position. And like a prosecutor, if you look into that, you've probably heard that before. And it's like Job's about a case. See, Lord, this guy's a piece of shit, and I think he will curse your face if I give him zits on his back. Remember this story? I don't know if you ever read it. I'm paraphrasing it. But it's a prosecutor. So it's not a name of a guy. It's a position. And that position is the enemy of you, like a hater or a troll or a reptilian taking your loosh. What do guys who A-log you do? They provoke you, and then you feed them your energy. And that's your fucking gay loosh. I hate that term, by the way. And I hate Robert Monroe. Don't ever do his thing. Robert Monroe from the Monroe Institute, who invented the term loosh.
Oh, you don't like the loose term?
I don't like his whole thing. Don't leave out the bad parts, assholes. Yo, don't tell me about remote viewing and UFOs and astral projecting and leave out all the, I don't know what we're allowed to say on this, grapes.
You can say whatever you want.
All the space grape. Don't leave that part out. And don't leave out all the blood sacrifice. Right now, we're going to go to the Technate. Here's where we're going. And so go look up Elon's grandpa. I bet people watch it. If you invented a religion, they probably know this shit. But the money would be based on energy usage. So a unit of energy. Okay, I get
Bitcoin.
it. Yeah. And and then think of those stories of Bob Monroe harvesting your energy. See what we're converting to? So first it was gold, which was, what is that, alchemy? Then we go to the fiat system, which is
Fraud. Ponzi scheme.
I call it sigil magic. Sigils. Then we go to this, which is conjuration.
Yeah, there was a lot of symbolism on the dollars, for sure.
Yeah, the tree of knowledge. The snake, money grows in the tree of knowledge by Tracy Twyman. She explained that's a snake, the serpent. Nobody uses that symbol but us.
That is a symbol for Hermes Trismegistus, also known as Thoth the Atlantean.
I'm known as Hermes Tres Orgasmus.
Yeah, Hermes essentially initiated the conversation of I create as I speak, abracadabra. That's Hebrew for I create as I speak. And the whole notion that you can speak things into existence in reality is made up of code expressed as language.
Sure. And
which is another form of lying or manipulation. Or
that's magic. So wait.
Magic, exactly.
So
there's nothing more magic than lying.
That's the first level of it.
You could just say a thing is true, and then it becomes true in the person's head you lied to. It's fascinating. Like
Santa Claus. You know, the real Santa Claus is some Turkish guy who, in this story, gave some guy with 3 daughters gold so they wouldn't have to become child prostitutes, and that's the first Santa. It's insane. But you got that people have that egregore of it, and the magic of Christmas. I just did Redacted. You know the show Redacted? You watch Redacted?
I've heard of that. Who's on that?
Clayton and Natalie, and I don't know. They're like Clayton's like a Yes Yelly Jimmy Dore. And anyway, Natalie used to be a Jehovah's Witness like me, and when she said something very interesting yesterday when I was talking to her, she was like, because I didn't grow up with it. And she's very mom-like. They have kids, right? But she goes, there's no magic of Christmas for me. I know exactly what she's talking about. I don't give a rat's ass about Christmas. I'm not against it. I have loved ones that are into it. I'll do whatever, but I never got imprinted with the magic of Christmas. And you know what else I never got imprinted with? The magic of Michael Jackson. Never gave a shit about it.
Really sounding like the Grinch right now.
Well, I never cared about that neither.
What's wrong with Michael Jackson?
Well, no.
What didn't he do for you?
It's not anything to do with him doing nothing with me. When I was 6 years old in the first grade, I'll never forget this, when he did the moonwalk on the, and remember, if you remember, he was wearing like high water pants. Like he had it looked like he woke up late for the show in bed with a boy and then rushed out with the boy's pants on and slid into the, anyway. The kids in my class were going. I was in Euclid, Ohio, which is outside Cleveland.
And you're just like, this is bullshit.
A Jehovah's Witness. We can't make false. When I was in there, you're not allowed to make false idols of anything. They don't have iconography and crosses and all that because it's considered Babylonian. And I'm not saying it is or isn't. I'm just telling you what I grew up in. And so as a result, it turns out, and I'd be very bored at these meetings. There's 3 meetings a week, and I would be so bored I'd read the Bible. So I probably read the Bible about 20 times as part of your lessons, and also in boredom I would just read it. And then my friends that are close to me at the time, well, a couple of them are still my friends to this day, but when you leave, you could talk about it with them. So you understand you're immersed in it. And even if you're bored, you're immersed in it. And it's almost like a wax on, wax off. So when I hear, this is why I'm not a Christian, by the way, because I have absolutely no Christian love explaining shit to nobody. I'm actually enraged at all of you that you didn't already know this shit that I found out taking a shit. Now, that's not Christian at all. That you're supposed to have some kind of love for people.
Do you believe in the teachings of Christ, of living like a good person and stuff like that, and turning the other cheek?
That's the golden rule, isn't it? Live like a good person. Yeah, I do. You can't go to war. We didn't vote. Here's what Jehovah's Witnesses were dead right about. Because there's a doomsday cult. Not doomsday for us, for you, asshole. So it was fine. I'm not being negative calling it that, is what I'm saying. We didn't vote, didn't join the military, never saluted the flag once in my life. When they passed the cupcakes around, Christmas cupcakes time, right?
How was it never designated a terrorist organization?
Well, not in this country. Well, no, they went to jail World War I for not going to war. So, no, Woodrow Wilson is when England brought us back into the fold of their soft power with their bullshit. We used to like France better, remember? And then all of a sudden, World War I, we like England now. And that was an op from England. And that's where all the Christianity that people pretend to be in here comes from. So, by the way, Pentecostals, anybody out there Pentecostal, speaking in tongues church, you know who made that popular in America? Because 47, it don't go back to Jesus, it goes back to 1947. The Kardashian family, that's who brought that here. The Kardashians. Not Kris Jenner. I'm talking about the Kardashian family. Look up Avok Hagobian. And I wish I remember this guy's channel's name, but he used to be in the William Branham cult. And if you look up Avok Hagobian, he's going to pop up. He's a bald guy with glasses. The channel's very informative. And people, if you're not religious, then I look at everybody's religion. That's why I'm excited about Gary Wayne coming on tomorrow.
Who's Gary Wayne?
He's a syncretist. He's a Christian. He's he takes the Bible as literal.
Oh, he's a Christian? I feel like I've heard enough of the Christian perspective where I get it.
And that's why...
Well, who's Jehovah and what
that's
did he
why
witness?
You're not... That's great that you just said that, because that's why you're not going to put the whole thing together. See, I feel like I've heard enough from Buddhists for the rest of my life. But the thing is, don't be smug and dismissive in none of it, because you need to put the puzzle together. And what Gary Wayne did, as a guy who's disclosing his prejudice to you immediately, which is what I appreciate, but he read everything. And then you can start to get some kind of dimensionality of the story. So when you hear the Anunnaki story, and I just know this from victims of SRA, which are real, that's not made up, that's a real thing that happened. Jay Parker, I would tell you to look up. He's from...
I knew Jordan Peterson was full of shit when he denied that, by the way.
I saw him at the fucking mothership because I watch him with what's her name? LeVay kid, the Taylor Swift LeVay. And I asked him about hypnosis. I use it sometimes in my work. That's it. And I messaged his daughter too about it. So because I had seen, so basically, I had this joke that I was doing at the mothership about how I support Israel's right to choose. Like, Israel's body's like a woman and her womb is like Gaza.
Yeah, I have a joke like that. My body, Mein Kampf.
If every so often she has to make a tough call and go up in there and kill some kids, that's her choice, and you should have to pay for it. Okay, now, by the way, not anti-Jew joke, not anti-Jewish. In fact, let me tell you something that gets my back up. Can I tell you what really rustles my jimmy sometimes, Ian? Watching little closeted, weirdo Jesuit programmed incel pedos that follow that Mexican catboy Führer talk shit about Jews. My best friend Big J, who's Jewish, his daughter's my goddaughter. Jay don't care about none of that shit, okay? But what I love about Jay is he can sense when a motherfucker's trying to come at him that way. And so he'll pick up when somebody's no good with that. Because anybody that's like that, if you, do you think the Jews are a problem? Do you think your thing is not a problem and in league with whatever you think the Jews did? You fucking fuck with? Who am I talking to? Anyway.
Me, actually.
The Vatican, the Mormons, Are you Pentecostal? That's that one. They're all cover for a coven. And if you're in a wizard school, the final initiation is to make your own religion. Did you know that? Did you know that?
No.
Well, you've completed wizard school. Congratulations. You got a tax exemption?
Yeah.
That's the goal. So when I had Aaron from Sea Org on my show, The Dope with Kurt, by the way, when I had him on, he said this thing that haunted me, dude. He goes, yeah, Scientology was never a sex cult. Because I've heard people say all cults become sex cults. No, they don't. Why? I never, and it blew my mind because I was like, I thought they all do that. No, it had a lot of faults and there's bad stuff that happened, but the cult was not, L. Ron Hubbard wasn't getting a harem off of it. He maybe would get a hand job from his wife. He does, it's like, why? Because you need to get, James McCann, comic James McCann explained it. And adult convert to Catholicism. Bizarre, but he's one of them kind of smart dudes that likes the intellectualism of tradition and whatever. He goes, yeah, because if you can make it not a sex cult, if you start a cult, if you can keep it from degenerating into a sex cult, then you become a religion. And look, you'll have time for sexual assault on your followers after you get the tax exemption. There'll be time for that. You got to Scarface this one. Have you Scarfaced your religion?
What does that mean?
Like first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women.
Oh, I'm still working on the money part.
Well, it's important.
I have my house is a church.
Wait, so can you explain the tenets of your faith? Can you convert me to your faith real quick?
Well, so the first part is the Anunnaki created us by genetic modification to be a
Who
slave
made the
race.
Anunnaki? James Cameron. I'm joking. Go ahead.
I don't know. It was another group of some kind of beings, and then the universe started out at a single point and then spliced into different spheres, not unlike meiosis.
I've seen Avengers Endgame. Go on.
And because if you know the flower of life, the pattern where it's intersecting circles, it's just
It's like a mandala or something they call it when you do DMT. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like it's just that,
Oh,
just a
wait.
bunch of that, just a bunch of circles.
Well, I've seen an emblem Mark Passio wears. So Mark Passio, watch his lectures. They're unbelievably good. And I know him. He came to my shows and stuff. But he has an emblem that's like circles. And he's not a Christian. He's an ex-Church of Satan guy who exposes the stupid LaVey Church. Which, by the way, Intel's balls deep in it. It's all part of Intel going back before there even was a CIA. Okay? And he explains this stuff beautifully. And if you're like a ninny that you don't like the what supernatural terms or whatever, he puts it in a good secular way. Just imagine people with pickup artist psychology operating thousands of years ago before anybody knew what psychology was. And the key to it is, once I do those lies, so at first it's just sleight of hand. That's why people are magicians and con men. Every tarot card reader, close-up magic, con man type of dude I know really admires Mormonism, and they're fascinated by it, and they call Joseph Smith a prophet. Why? Because the guy was a fucking warlock, and he made a coven, and then he made a bunch of clean cattle around him that don't drink coffee.
Okay, why is every magician Jewish? All the biggest musicians, David Copperfield.
I think he said musician. I think he said musician.
Magicians.
The guy that wrote, that drew the Baphomet picture, he wasn't Jewish. He was faking he was Jewish. He was pretending to be Jewish. He was a French guy LARPing as a Jew. Kabbalah is why, and also you have to keep in mind, there's not one Judaism like that, dude. It's not. So after the temple gets destroyed, and there's no way to, I don't know how much theology you know, but basically you would have to do a sacrifice in the temple for the remittance of sin. That's like that scapegoat shit and all that. And if you're Christian, Jesus being sacrificed, even though he didn't do nothing, that buys you out of your slavery from that you got put in, right? That's in the Christian lore. But what happens in Judaism is, so now they don't have a temple to go do the sacrifice. So now they're burdened with sin. Just theologically, it's a problem, right? So they had to move to more rabbinical Judaism. And so that's where you start breaking off into the Talmud, which is not a Bible. It's legal arguments. A lot of them are very gross, but you have to imagine there was an Alan Dershowitz in every time period. Okay? But there's also a lot of Jews, like the Karaites were the ones that Russia didn't persecute because they were Torah Jews that were going from the written word. You see, there's a little technicality where it's like there's the spoken Torah, so then that includes the Talmud. But these are a lot of factions, okay?
You notice Jeffrey Epstein had the entire Talmud behind him in his office?
Well, here's I'm gonna tell you the main important thing. Don't focus on Jews like that's. Let's say you could abracadabra the Jews away. Okay, do you think that's gonna end the problem? You must be an idiot. If
I
you
do.
think.
I do. I think it would
Okay,
end.
I don't want to drop the thing you said not to drop, but I think I know why. Because self-hate's the greatest love of all.
I think pornography would become less.
Why would you think
prevalent
something like that?
Because every major porn company is run by Jews.
Again, why would you? Okay, but much like the dragon imagery, pornography too is ubiquitous across the world. So you see how that's not really a thing. And what would you replace the Jews with? Because the people that mostly say this dumb shit are usually telling me Catholic shit. You're not Catholic, right?
No.
Oh, what are you? Oh, you made your own religion. I apologize.
I'm an interdimensionalist.
You know what? We're getting sidetracked by Jews. I got another. Dude, first of all, the only reason I know the truth about how bad Gaza is because Jews told me. That's the only reason I know. I'm a good man who's prejudiced against Arabs and Muslims like all good people. Do you think I want to say that it's a genocide? I don't. Jews told me. I would never listen to an Arab. I'm good. Okay? I can't make that clear. If I know that how bad Gaza is, okay, it's not because I'm not prejudiced against Arabs. I want to assure everyone of that. That's Israel's fault. But again, Zionism and Judaism are not the same thing. And the only people who say that are Nazis and Zionists. I promise you he was a Fed and all that other bullshit. It's not productive and it doesn't help anyone to blame it all on the Jews. So the only people that do that 9 times out of 10 are working for Israel. So be careful with that shit. Now tell me your faith.
Well, if I start working for Israel, I'll get a bunch of free money.
Hey, look, what's your goal you're trying to get at? Why? You know what I'm saying? I don't mean you specifically, but just like, what's the goal here? Because as soon as you try to pin
My personal goal is to uncover the truth. I just want to find the truth. I want to figure things out.
I just told you. You're welcome.
I'm a question asker.
Well, you're welcome. I just told you it.
I'm a hunter.
I just told you it. You're welcome. You just got derped.
I see what you're getting at, and you make some good points, but also it totally is the Jews. And I'm not saying it's just all Jews, and as soon as a Jew is born, they're destined
to be. By the way, it's totally not. I thought you had a degree of understanding how this works. So
some Jews. There are some Jews involved in everything.
You're going to have to not be two-dimensional with this, dude. First of all, the reason there is an Israel there is because that's what's called British soft power. I would tell everybody to get the book Tragedy and Hope. My rabbi, Richard Grove from Grand Theft World podcast, sent it to me. It's written by Carol Quigley, who was a mentor of Bill Clinton, respected Georgetown polymath, given cosmic level clearance in the archives. Remember when Douglas Murray, do you see that with Douglas Murray? You haven't been to the archives, did Dave Smith?
No.
Oh, and it was hilarious. That fucking, you know that fruity neocon, Douglas Murray?
No. What's his deal?
He wrote a book called Why We Need Neocons in 2007, and he's like, all the anti-woke shit, which is some kind of psyop with Mossad and CIA to make you, they do the dialectic. You know what that is, right?
Nope.
Tell me about your religion first, and then I keep sidetracking us, and I feel like it's my fault.
I think this is exactly how I expected this and wanted this to go.
I wanted to make
all over the place with all these different things.
I wanted to pitch a show a long time ago called Convert Kurt. And I would sincerely, because I don't debate nobody. By the way, the thing about Israel, I am prejudiced against Islam, and I want to be on Israel's side. And they screwed up so bad I can't be.
Why is that?
Because
why do you want to be on Israel's side? And what do you have against
Because
Islam?
Much like every other fucking American, first of all, I'm friends with everybody, man. And the Commie Cellar, which is my best club that I ever, until Mothership just pays out the ass. It's great. But Cellar is like, to feel like a real comic, I played the Cellar, dude. By the way, I do stand-up. Take the Jews out of stand-up. That's going to be great, morons. Absolutely stupid. What a stupid idea. Also, most of the time, only Jews know what the fuck I'm even talking about. Most people don't know what I'm on about, except highly literate Jews. So that, and I'm from the Northeast.
So you just don't want to offend your friends. That's really what it's about.
I don't give a fuck if I offend. What? Are you even listening to me?
Yeah. You're saying that you
I
don't
don't care
wanna
about
harp on the
offending
Jews.
anybody. I say what I think. I'm not. You see, there's a level. That's how you invented a religion.
You really don't see all the connections between things that Jews have done and every world war and 9/11 and JFK and the Titanic.
You know that the non-Jews were in on it too. So clearly, there's something larger than the Jews, right?
It is larger than the Jews, but I have
Do you want to get to
point
the truth?
I have to point out that it is the Jews because there's so much effort to deny that it is. Like when you talk to black people and you're like, yeah, you guys steal a lot more than the rest of us. They'll be like, yeah, we do that.
Do they
We
steal?
do that. I mean, I've been robbed 4 times in my life, all by different black people. But
Well, you're in crypto, so I suspect that's not true.
well, it wasn't crypto that I got robbed. It was
Yeah, I think you're.
laptops.
Are you thinking of small time robbery and not how,
breaking and entering?
not like income tax and so on and so forth? And there's 200.
No, that's Jew stuff.
Okay, dude, it's going to be impossible for me not to reveal a thing you don't want me to reveal, and I'm a little bewildered. What's your goal here? Because I'm telling you the truth. I don't fuck around with like, I don't know what the fuck you, yo.
I don't like when people deny things, even though
Are you kidding me?
even though I'm doing.
Well, yo, don't have a fucking grift. Don't sell some shit you don't believe. Don't have a secret thing no one can know about you. Everyone can know about me. I'm a big fuck up. I don't give a shit. And by the way, I ain't ashamed of shit. So why the fuck would... dude, how do you understand how destructive it is to not be 100% open? Do you understand that? You're talking a lot of shit on Jews, right?
Yeah.
Okay, look, you don't have to drop this, but you ever have a friend that is obviously gay and you don't care? They're your friend, but they got some weird personal thing, and so you got to pretend you don't know they're gay, and you've known them for many years. I could think of several people off the top of my head. That's the situation that you're creating talking this Jew shit. Does that make sense? And I like you, dude. I hate having a little secret because that's what intel covens do.
I'm not saying that Jews are should die.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying that.
Don't say the Jews at all. And honestly, dude. Listen,
Okay, there's people that happen to be Jewish.
what's the goal of marketing that's the Jews? What's the goal of that?
I don't know. It's been getting.
You have a goal.
People want to hear me talk about it.
Okay. So there's a goal there. I know everyone throws the term grift around. Most of you don't know what the fuck it means, but what it does mean is saying a thing that you yourself don't believe, you just want to sell it for the money. That's a grift. That's being a con man.
No. I believe everything I say, and I'm not making any money. There's really no.
But
If anything, this is hurting my chances at success. If anything, this is just self-sabotage.
Okay, well, if you don't do a full disclosure, you've already sabotaged. Because let me explain something to you. The only people that do this, and I hope you're not going to stick with it, because to do that's Nick Fuentes in a nutshell. And, yo, I don't gloat on Sam Hyde for having him on, even though I said Sam asked him about January 6th. Because I think Sam Hyde's fucking a real artist, man. And I don't know if he's going to just be the living embodiment of the sin of wrath his whole life. I hope he's not. But he had that little fucker on, and he didn't ask him no real questions that I want to know. I want to know the truth. I always want to know the truth. You want to know the truth? Well, you should tell the truth all the fucking time. And that's how we all get to know the truth. Okay? So Nick Fuentes comes out and says there's no way Israel killed Charlie Kirk. Why? Because, well, as the news is telling us now, there's a blackmail operation based on people's search histories. And I wonder if a weird little homo, who's probably Ashkenazi himself, okay? Again, my ex, I was with an Israeli girl, well, she's from here, but 10 years, and we were engaged and all that. I don't have no issue with Jews. I have an issue with killing kids and starving kids and raping kids, and really adults too. I also would like to not be murdered, and I have a problem with every single war that we've had here that has just been a mass satanic blood sacrifice. And I have a problem with Babylonian money magic. I have a problem with it. Like, I won't invent a religion because I fucking hate this shit. I resent it. That's why I hate pyramids. I resent the symbol of the fucking control over me. Like I should have to hide anything about myself to people at all to make a fuck that shit, dude. I became a professional clown, so I don't never have to do that. And I watch these people do it all the time, and it'll get real aggressive when you scrape on their fucking costume. I come in with it because it's actually a cult take. I stole it from Michael Malice. Michael Malice will do these beautiful costumes that and not address them. It's my favorite thing in the world, and people get mad while they watch. While he's talking, you ever seen him talk to Jordan Peterson?
I've seen clips.
He's wearing Ultimate Warrior face paint and and then the thumbnail's like, "This is how evil works," and I was crying laughing at just the thumbnail. And but that's a form of projecting your domain around.
Well, so why do you hate occultism if you're not Christian?
Because I want to find out everybody's secret and snitch to everyone. I'm going to run my fucking mouth. I'm what's called the pincher of the loaf. You surely have read about that in your holy books.
No, what's that?
I came to pinch the loaf. Cut the shit. Cut the fucking shit, dude. Get it?
Yeah.
Where you from?
Irvine, California.
Oh, that's why you think it's okay to do this. You see how you're inverted now.
What is your perception of Irvine? Pinch a loaf is a slang phrase meaning to defecate.
No, it means to cut the log. How long are we all going to be letting this shit go on? I say pinch it off.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'm playing the long game here.
You don't. People have said that to me, and I'm going to tell you they were wrong. Play the living in your life right now, and don't. See, what you're talking about is, you ever hear this phrase? Is that the hill you want to die on? You ever hear that?
Yeah.
I've heard it for years, especially working in TV. And what? Am I going to be killed because I wasn't lying? Fuck you. I think I'm not saving up political capital to tell the truth.
So do you think...
I don't care about my fucking career. Why do any of you... people will come at me when I attack Nick Fuentes, but I just want that Twinkie to be happy. Why is everybody got to be a fake thing? You're not trad cat. Nick, if the world you pretend that you say you want, which you don't, of medieval Catholicism came to pass, just your fucking weird hands alone are the sign of the witch, and you would be burnt. And you should be for those hands. And you're a test tube homunculus. So why are you saying a thing that would automatically have you burning on a bundle of sticks? I don't want to say what a bundle of sticks is. Why would you be out here doing that? I bet you got no choice because they looked at your goddamn search history. Where you were into my friend Blair White, who her family invented my cult I grew up in. Blair White Russell is her real name. The Russell family invented...
The trans one?
The Passing Trans Online. Blair has a wild background. Watch a Derpa Carp, you can see the talk about it. And Blair said people have to know and whatever, but I felt bad at first where I'm being too casual with a dark thing that real people get killed about. I was a little casual. But this stuff has to come out. And I also don't give a fuck, So I would start hearing everybody out. I would abandon where you're going to pick a scapegoat club or tribe. I don't think, it's the Freemasons, it's the Jews, it's the Catholic. You better get the fuck over that shit, motherfuckers. You ain't never getting out of this. Get over that stupid shit. That's aesthetics. Get over it. Get the fuck over it. You don't got to kill nobody. You don't got to do nothing except not consent.
So you think if you removed one group, another group would just rise to their position?
Are you asking me that? Dude, I don't believe you're dumb enough to not know the answer to that. I don't believe it.
No, I do. I think that is the case.
Obviously. So what does that tell you? What does it tell you about this snake blowing itself forever? This is so you just described being on the dumbass wheel of Samsara, the Jeremy from Quartering wheel, where you go, I want to talk about the left and market myself and my marketing. Don't tell anybody. No. Stop it. Oh my God. I gotta, might be a 4-claw podcast.
A what?
A 4-claw podcast. It's not. There's only a 1.5 claw so far. I gotta stop drinking because I'm a fat fuck now, but I hurt myself. But I'm gonna check out them things you were telling me about, BCCs. Many people have recommended BCCs to me.
The peptides, yeah, BPC 157 and TB 500.
Because I haven't healed. Oh man, after the pandemic, I remember I started working out. I felt so good. First I just wanted sun, okay, and then I live by Runyon Canyon, so I just walk and whatever, listen to music, but I crave sunlight so goddamn bad. And then it was like being a battery, and I would just do it all the time. And then I injure myself, and that's what happens. And my addictive personality, I do too much and then hurt myself in some fucking stupid way. And then I'm a fat fuck again.
That's getting old, man. That happens to me every time I drink. Every time I drink, I train and I injure myself.
Well, I like to smoke weed and exercise. I really do. I don't see no problem with it. And I like nicotine when I exercise. And all bodybuilders I ever knew told me that that's a good thing. I never heard nothing bad about nicotine, just the smoke part.
All right, how about Stephen Hawking? What are your thoughts on him?
Do you think he really had all those affairs? I feel like he was just graped a lot because the man, look, when they said he went to Epstein's Island, and people were like, I'm disappointed in him. Why? Because he was graped, obviously. What the guy that, it took him like supposedly a long time to even spell out a message. It wasn't even as fast as.
I think he was literally a puppet. They were just moving him around, making him say whatever they wanted him to say. He spoke high on gravity and black holes. Now I'm starting to think, is gravity even real? Are black holes real? His whole mission was to talk about that. And he was clearly compromised if he was on Epstein Island. And he was clearly a puppet if he couldn't talk for himself.
Look. So, I would say it's a little bit too simplistic of a thing to say.
I'm just asking a question.
Okay, well,
I'm not saying gravity is fake because of that, but I'm saying, do we really know what gravity is?
Of course you don't. But who gives a shit? I don't give a shit. This is like, do we know what shape the Earth is? I don't give a shit. Do you feel like it's flat? It's flat. Now what happens? Nothing? Oh, we'll just go on as usual. Well, look, you know economics, right? So what's the economics?
Hey, relax.
What's the economics of saying the Earth's the wrong shape? And no one's giving me a good motive. They go, well, because it makes you more far away from God or something. What? I believe in God, and I don't think it's flat, so I don't understand what you're talking about. Well, if they can make you believe that, they can make you believe anything. They already can make you believe anything, asshole. So don't act like you're so slick and they slip the shape of the Earth by you. What the fuck changes that would have a conspiracy that includes all the pilots and ship captains and Big Compass and Big Globe? And what the fuck are you talking about, you Jesuit programmed imbecile? Why don't you not get off a detour at retard every time where you go down there? I don't like the Jews and the Earth is flat, which, if you really don't like the Jews, I'm sure a Jew came up with that stupid idea you're saying while you pretend to hate Jews. Who am I talking to? Okay. I've heard a lot of this shit, okay? Number one, if you are a Christian and you believe in God, you better get the fuck off your tribal bullshit. First of all, your country is fake. It's always been fake. It's Disneyland. America should be a podcast by now. Why are you falling for this all the time? Because you like football or something? What's wrong with you? Well, I'm mad because black guys get the pussy. What the fuck is wrong with you? Well, it's not really. What's wrong with you is they feed you poison and say stupid shit.
Do you care about America as a country?
What do you mean? The people in it?
Yeah, like, do you want
Obviously
America to succeed? Do you like being an American? Do you think America should be a world power?
I want God to destroy all the governments of the earth sooner rather than later.
So you're anarchist?
No, I don't. I hate your stupid.
You're just anti-labels. I'm legitimately trying to figure out where
there
you're
ain't
coming
no
from.
fucking template that's gonna fix nothing. It's an individual thing, okay? So you have to not consent and not give over to lying and saying stupid shit for yourself, right? By the way, I want to start by Dave Lucas. We're gonna start. It's called Low Value Mail, but Danny Polachek already has one where he reads mail. But ours is about how you could just be, people like look smaxing and. I don't do that shit. I get way better pussy than I should get. I'm a low-value male, and I get laid all the time, you losers. I'm not rich. I'm not as rich as you, I promise you. I can promise you. So you don't have to have also my yacht is in my pants, but that don't mean that you're going to get, a lot of shorter dick guys get more tail than I. But the bottom line is, you don't have to do any of that shit. You don't got to take no jujitsu, and you don't got to have a watch. You'll get laid anyway. You just gotta fucking have some. Don't be an NPC. You'll be, hey, the kids like that, right? Don't be a fucking golem. Don't be an NPC, because what that is a hollowed out creature to be inhabited by the latest thing. You're like, I can't tell people who I am. I got to hide a thing about myself so I can become a vessel for the thing. Because that's how I make my money, from the tree of the fucking knowledge. Anyway, what's your religion? I never learned.
I got a whole thing typed out here.
Okay.
This is all
Interdimensional temple. I'm with you. Go on.
So, words create reality. Cymatics are geometric shapes.
What's cymatic?
Cymatics are geometric shapes which can be expressed through sound. Like if you put salt on a plate in the
Oh
blade
yeah,
frequency,
it vibrate. Okay,
sorts
okay.
itself into sound.
Like interference pattern. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and then that's a double slit experiment with the interference pattern. And then there's a Japanese rice water experiment.
Okay, I
how
know
when you
that
have 2
part.
cups of water, you say I love you to one, you say fuck you bitch ass water to the other. That one gets moldy.
When does it branch off from Hermeticism?
It's mainly just hermeticism.
Brilliant. Cut and print. You got a religion. Guess what, everyone? All the religion, but that's great. That's how you do it, but that's exactly how you do it. That's why Hermeticism came about in the Renaissance. They translated it all. So all of our religions in America, including the ones that hate the Jews, but they're all the same, from the same source. And by the way, it's not the Jews. It's Frankists and Sabbatean Frankists. Those are how, would you say Aleister Crowley was a Christian? Would you call? Okay, so there's a Jewish version of that. It's called Frankism. And do you know how Aleister Crowley, you know how Satanists hate Christians? Well, imagine, and I know you can relate to this, being a Jew that hates Jews so much you want to hurt them, and now you're Satan. Imagine, if you could, try to get your head around it. That's who is doing that. And what they do, so the pogroms, guess who was in on that? In fact, the Pope at the time, when they were really getting hardcore into pogroms, was like, what are you maniacs doing? Because Jesuit idiots and Sabotage Heavy or Frankish followers, the Satan ones, had joined with the crazy Nick Fuentes Catholics to do pogroms, and then the Pope had to say, this is nuts. You know, it's too big of a group, so that would never be the real Christianity. It will never be, it will always be cramped and narrow. There's never going to be a mass awakening. But you understand what I'm saying? The people that hate whoever you are the most, if you got real hatred, 9 times out of 10, you either were born the thing that you hate or you're gonna become it. You what? Yo, how about them ICE agents with masks? Now, quick question for everybody. I know they might be doxxed, right? That's why you gotta wear a mask, because you could be doxxed. Real cops have their name on their doxing is your home address, by the way, assholes. So a real cop has to show you his face or his name on his badge with a badge number in case he grapes you so you can complain. And even with that system, it don't work that good. What do you think masks are? Remember Woke Watchmen on HBO? And I know right now there's people that made videos about it. They hate Woke Watchmen and with masked cops kicking in your door, doing all kinds of fucked up anti-constitutional shit. And the wokies made it up. And now in real life it happened, and they're like, lesbian got shot. I don't even like that lesbian. The mask is out of line out of the gate, and you accepted it like cattle. And went, oh, you could get doxxed. That makes no sense. Like cattle. You're no better than someone who couldn't figure out if women have dicks or not. You're the same as them. You're not different. Until you stop doing that, don't talk about the Jews. Now I am talking. The Jews. Stop saying that. Who does? Do you understand the modern state of Israel that anti-Semitism is a fuel source that they must have? Do you understand that? The people that are going along with this, here, take the Nazi. How do you get people that are nice to go along with this? Well, through trauma. Trauma-based mind control. So if I'm a Sabbatean Frankist fuck that hates Jews more than any Christian could hate a Jew, and I would like, because in my weirdo shit, I need Jerusalem and the third temple and something with a red heifer and all bullshit. And Jews aren't moving to Jerusalem. They don't want to live. They want to live in America. How do I force them to move to Jerusalem? Holocaust means burnt offering.
Well, let me explain this to you, and you're probably going to hate this explanation. But I'll tell you this much.
No, I won't.
I've blown up online a lot by posting what you would call anti-Semitic tropes. And
that's very Jewy of you.
The thing is, I have done everything else. I've talked about everything else. I didn't even start talking about race on stage until the last year. I started multiple businesses. Are you trying to get rich? Rap albums.
Wait, is the goal to get rich?
Well,
it sounds like the goal is to get rich, and so
Yeah.
Okay.
But not entirely, because if it was, I would just quit
So,
comedy. And
I
focus
mean, do you
on
see
making
how
money.
you're...
And the one time when I start talking about the Jews and I start getting into all the conspiracy stuff, I start putting on the rabbi hat with the curls. Everything starts blowing up. I'm finally getting motion. I finally start getting booked. I finally start going on the road. Things start happening. So I'm going to keep doing it.
Buddy, it sounds like you told your secret, not me.
I don't have a secret.
Yeah, you do.
No.
And you just told it to everybody on the stream. You just told it to everybody. You just told it to everybody.
Listen, man.
Listen, Rabbi Portnoy. Listen, Dave Portnoy. You just told your secret to everybody. Why don't you just like yourself? I liked you. Dude, I have to tell you, I liked you when I met you. I don't know why you would have self-hatred at all. I don't know why anybody does that. To get rich, why do you need to be rich?
I need food.
But do you not have... By the way, you got to...
I have negative $40,000.
Why?
We'll talk about that later.
But that's an interesting show. Nobody likes you because you're better than them. They like you because your weaknesses that you're honest about. That's why people like you. They don't like you because you hide your weaknesses and act like a lizard. I don't mean you specifically, but people have an idea that they have to hide who they are like a lizard person. That's where we get lizard people from.
I don't hide what I do. I'm open about my crack addictions and the drugs I've injected and
hold on a minute.
Fights I've gotten in. And
wait.
I admit to all the degenerate shit I've ever done.
I did not accuse you of crack addiction.
I'm just saying. I admit to all the shit that I do.
Do you have crack?
No, but I know how to make it.
Oh, man.
Well, have you tried it?
No.
Do you want to?
It's too late for me now.
You don't. I'm telling you, do not try it.
No, because it's awesome. But I wish instead of getting a COVID vaccine, I smoked crack because that's better for your body. And
I did.
We have the studies.
I did smoke crack during COVID.
But did you get a vaccine?
No.
You're better than me. See that?
You got the vax?
Yeah, I didn't know. Why would I know that?
I don't know.
I've always had good luck. By the way,
I had a feeling. 2020 is when I really started diving into things.
Well, okay, so one day someone's going to dive into things and blow up your spot if you get rich off your thing that you're trying, your grift that you just told me is a grift.
Good.
Dude, listen, let me tell you why I believe in God, and it might sound very stupid to you. And I'm not telling you which God I don't care. I'm just telling you why I believe in it. The level of evil, and when I've really looked into it, and the level of manipulation and lying is so, like, it's not just fucked up, it's legalistic. So when Trump puts out the Epstein files, there's people that are sitting there and blacking out each page with black squares. Why not just take black square one page and Xerox it? Why take the time to go through it? And we know they went through it because some asshole didn't do it right and people were able to unredact it because they had to do it so much in such a hurry. But why bother with that? Because there's some legalistic thing. Now, maybe it's just the magic spell of America would be broken if they didn't do it. Much the way Professor Zhang suggested that J.R.R. Martin can never finish the books because if he does, he'll die. He's surviving on the tension of never having finished the books. That's called magic. That's what it is. I never even thought of it until Professor Zhang said it, and he's goddamn right. I saw that fat fuck 10 years ago at the Emmys, and there ain't no way he was going to live another 10 years. And I'm like, what are you doing here partying, motherfucker? You got to finish that book. No, it's the picture of Dorian Gray. He can never finish the book or he'll die. You understand? That's magic, dude. So here's what I would suggest to you. Instead of doing magic, why don't you just be honest all the time? People seem to like it. I had a very big jump in my viewership for my last few appearances on podcasts. I hope you get a nice derp bump. But, dude, I mean, what a lame thing to lie about. I'm telling you, people like you. Not because you're better than them, even though that's the message you get from the inverted world you live in. People like you because you're weak like them and they can relate to you. And then what you realize, and this is what the promise of Christianity is, you can't be hurt. I was lower than you when I came in here, dude. What are you going to knock me down a peg? I was already lower than you. And I don't give a fuck. Get it? Low value male. I get good tail, brother.
What do you mean lower than me?
I don't have a place as good. I live in fucking... We should have researched the neighborhood, and we didn't. Okay, that's on us. But it's a real... There's a soup kitchen awfully close to where I live. And anyway, I'm armed. It's fine. But I'm shocked. See, in New York or L.A., I lived in a lot of hoods. I'm used to New York, where it's very abrasive and like you could get in a real confrontational thing, and not only will it not be a fight, you're gonna be best friends. It's like that's my experience in New York, like getting in fights with people that I was like really tight with after that, because I lived in every neighborhood. I moved in fucking Harlem, I remember, by Rayo's. You know that? You ever hear of Rayo's?
No.
Mob at time. It was a good place. It was 95th and Lex, and I didn't make any fucking money, so I had to live with this. I mean, I was into her, but she was older than me. I was like a cabana boy almost, you know. I don't know how the fuck I survived. I didn't have a job, and I felt too good to have a job. Frankly, I was like, and I wasn't very good at comedy too, but I was like, I'm too good for a job. The woman should work. That's what I really.
I feel like I am below a job. Like I wish I could have.
I'm below any job. I could never be hired by anyone. Anyway, we're moving in. I want my.
You own the place?
No, what? I don't know. I'm one of them new kind of Davos people. I don't have nothing, and I love it. And I've never been happier.
You own nothing and you're happy? I think that's about Bitcoin, by the way.
It's going to be about converting you to energy system that Elon's grandpa came up with. And at the end of the day, that's what everything is. And that's why these people are Satanists, because they're finite. See, 0 point energy, that would be God, right? An endless source of novelty and new stuff. Notice how the people that suck are not creative. They can only absorb. They have to find creatives and make them into slaves and extract wealth out of them. But they don't create shit. Creative people, that's tapping into God. That's tapping into 0 point energy that you hear people blather about. So it's very simple, dude. Like if I'm immortal and all these stupid alien things are just people. They're just people that transhumaned earlier. And they did all the things that everybody thinks is good, and they suck. So they have to be vampires now because there's only so much, the heat death of the universe. Imagine being such a penny pinching, and I'm not saying a Jew, but you know what I'm talking about, being such an accountant that you've calculated, like private equity or something, how much earnings you should receive billions of years into the future, up to the heat death of the universe. So once you think like that, you now live in a coffin, right? Once you're a creature that thinks like that, and Whitley Strieber describes those gross grays that did stuff to his butt, he goes, what's the universe to you? And they said, they put an image of a coffin. That's who's imprisoned here. So when you hear the Gnostic bullshit that we're in prison, no, you're not. You don't have to be. Those things that lived before you are imprisoned here. And it sucks. They decided to make an afterlife for themselves because they don't trust in whatever happens after death. Can you imagine being that big a piece of shit that you're like, I can't take a chance that the afterlife, because that's how bad I am. I did so much stuff. I did some foul shit. We got to make a secular afterlife for me to go to because surely I deserve my karma. I don't believe in Christianity, but I believe in karma, cause and effect, right? So I know I got something bad coming down on me because how could I get away with this? And that's why I need to invent some kind of computer thing to put my consciousness in. Now imagine you're that jerk-off rich person that went with that Black Mirror idea. And you got the first generation tech. Oh, I have looked into Chris Langan's... okay, who is this?
I have no idea.
Okay, so Chris Langan, the smartest man in the world, right? But, dude, I got to tell you... But I'm not anything against him, but... I didn't hear him say anything where I'm like, whoa, you have a 300 IQ. Ever. And he took his test through a magazine, according to him. By the way, my IQ is much lower than his. Like, much lower. But I know it's my score, my brain.
Wait, so what's the summary of what he's talking about?
He has his own... watch Kurt Jamigal does an interview with him where he explains it very well. It's something about, like... being in accordance with, it's something with source and all this shit. Look, you really got to intellectualize your way out of the same old story I grew up with. I mean, it's all these things boil down to me is I'm being dog walked back to the shit I was taught as a kid. And I think I know why they're doing it and I don't like it. But, I can run my mouth until something happens to me, right? And we could all do that. You could always not consent to a booster or wearing a mask. You don't have to hurt nobody. You could not waste your time trolling people to feed on their energy and instead maybe do something with yourself.
Well, you asked what my goal was. My goal is to get assassinated by Mossad. That's what I want to happen.
I'm not sure you don't work for Mossad because I don't understand why it is completely if you really give a shit, I mean, I don't know what people give a shit about, okay? I never gave it. The King Norman Finkelstein's the guy that explained Gaza to me when Pasta was filling in for Jimmy Dore on the show, and I always thought it was so complicated. No, it's not. And Norman Finkelstein, I'll never forget how he described it. He goes, "I'm angry I didn't go harder." He goes, "I'm ashamed of myself that I didn't go harder because that's how his parents were in Auschwitz." And he gets trashed by, like, Alan Dershowitz would smear him, and Destiny smeared him. Destiny tried to, because you ever see Norman Finkelstein talking to Destiny in that debate? It's one of the best. It's one of
I'm
the
not
best.
familiar with them.
Destiny, you don't know about?
No. I know that
You expect to be a
Fuentes or
big
something.
influencer that's rich and you don't know who Destiny is. Well, buddy, the Jews are the least of your problem if you don't know who Destiny. I'm joking. Okay, so what were we talking about? I forgot.
Destiny and Norm Finkelstein.
Norman Finkelstein explained that it's a concentration camp. It's not an open air prison camp, Gaza. It is a literal concentration camp.
What Gaza is?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it's always been. And I
Doesn't
remember.
that mean they have labor, forced labor?
No, you can leave, but you could just never come back there again because the goal is to run them out of their land. Now, by the way, I don't know if you've heard of the Mizrahi Jews. So many people tell you there were always Jews in Israel, which is true. There were always Jews there. And they got along fine with everyone. And they didn't want Lithuanian Zionists to come in because it created a huge problem. And the Mizrahi Jews, who some call mountain Jews, and sometimes people call Mormons that, I don't know why. The Mizrahi Jews, you ever hear of those schools where in Canada and America where they take native kids and beat them till they don't speak their Indian language, they only speak English? You ever hear that?
No. I haven't heard of that.
And you have a religion. Okay. Well, that's what Zionists did to Jews. So here's why you're an idiot if you poke your finger at all the other people that are not your fucking whatever, is because whatever your dumb, evil fucking government does to other people, they're going to do it to you because they're not enemies with those people. They want you to be enemies with them. So if you're mad at the black people, why don't you fucking drop that shit, dipshits? Because the people in charge programmed you to be that way. And it wasn't the Jews. You understand? Read Hobbes' Leviathan. You know what? I'm not going to tell you shit. Just remember I said it to you. Because if you're going down that road, you're a fucking moron and you're losing the whole goal. Stop fighting in wars. Stop being part of the thing. Stop consenting. Stop going, the Marvel movie's bad. Of course it's bad. It's fucking evil shit. Disney was always evil. It was all. Why would they program your kids with Bavarian fairy tales? The Bible of Satanists. Why would they do that? Because they give you archetypes. That's why Andrew Tate's fucking scumbag fucking Freemasonry. It's all the same scam, by the way. Oh, by the way, Derp with Kerp. I want to start doing a Derp with Kerp college. And then I want to... and there'll be levels you can ascend to once I initiate you properly. Which is, it'll be like $33. Right? 33? Come on. I could do this shit
price.
too. Don't think I can't do this. I can. You just got derped.
Who's an influencer that you do like?
No, by the way, the title.
Or
of
you
it,
did the
I'm not an influencer. Yo,
Did the anti-idol tree stick with you for life?
forever. What, dude? Why would you worship an idol? Are you like what the fuck?
Well, you can appreciate someone's.
That's not
stuff
worshiping
without
an idol.
worshiping.
Yes, of course.
So who do you appreciate that you don't?
Who's like my
necessarily disagree
favorite
with?
comic is David Tell. It always has been David Tell. The Jew David Tell. One of the most generous guys I ever met in my goddamn life. Dude, Attell's my favorite. Okay. All my shit that I ever tried to do was like really ripping off Attell and Patrice, like trying to like mingle it. That's my fucking, in my head what I was like, oh, I want to be able to do those skills. But Attell's why he's my favorite is he packs the most information into the smallest sentence. And he told me this when I was writing for a show. He goes, imagery. So as you can put the picture in people's heads, that's why it's so funny. Right? And you don't got to waste a lot of time on setups. I mean, you can if you got a long setup. The investment, you can't do a rug pull on people. You got to, if they sit through your setup, the payoff has to be equal or better, just like any other investment. The basic setup of the universe is setup punchline. That's the smallest building block of the universe is setup, punchline. I believe. I think it's better than your religion because I made that up. Don't go with his religion.
Well, we're going to war.
Oh, you wanna?
We're going to war then.
No, that's a good dialectic. See, that we could get something going, dude.
So we just got to get a bunch of kids fresh out of high school to fight for us.
Listen,
while
don't
we
try
go
to
and have
manipulate.
coffee
Listen,
together.
don't try to be a pickup artist. Dude. First of all, I'm Mr. Magoo my way into pussy. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? I don't. If I try, I've talked my way out of pussy a lot. But what they taught us in Nobody Beats the Wiz is get out of the way of the sale, dude. You know, get out of the way of the sale. Don't crap it up with your dumb mouth, you know. And as soon as you fucking don't give a shit about stupid shit like you're watching your, and most people can't give a shit about it because they, they're not criminals and they don't have fucking time. They got problems. How old are you though?
33.
Oh, this is the perfect time to start a religion.
Jesus year.
It's good that you got me here to fix you because you really have fucked up so far.
I'm a little disappointed. I thought we were going to agree on the Jew stuff.
Why did you think that?
I don't know. I thought.
Do you know I get attacked anti-Semitically like all day? You know that, right? Even though I'm not Jewish?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that is a thing. However, I also can hold in my head somehow that Israel, the modern state of Israel, has nothing to do with a religion. Oh, also the Khazarians are not the Jews. That's a thing a Jewish guy made up with good intentions, trying to separate a race from a religion. But he didn't know that Zionists, like Nazis, want to conflate the two.
So do you think the Israelis today are the same Israelis from the Bible and the Old Testament?
Why do you think I think that?
I mean, that's the...
Are you still trying to sell this? Listen, the Jew thing...
I'm trying to understand what your perspective is.
I'm 5 seconds away from blowing up your spot with this, dude. Listen. That's outrageous. I have to tell you something, dude. That's outrageous. That's Nick Fuentes level. I don't want to gay. Yo, do you know he has like pedo followers? And I think they're just gay.
I mean, did you see how he was saying Jeffrey Epstein is cool?
Yes,
that's his new thing.
He's probably being blackmailed. And I promise you it could happen to you too if you blow up. So I think you should probably... What if we... Look, my good friend Blair White, who has a lot more at stake than you, let me explain about the Russell family, who are left-hand path Rosicrucians. And Blair went to school in a black pyramid in Northern California, straight out of that fucking movie with Nick Cage where it's a pretty awesome movie, actually. You ever see that? Where Nick Cage has a metal axe he made and he goes and kills the fucking cult.
No.
Mandy. Yo, Mandy's a good... But... It's creepy because I think it's not that far off from things. Anyway, dude, just be honest. If you want to be funny, are you a comic?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you hide shit, you can't be funny. And people will tell you funny while you're hiding shit, but I won't. I'll be like, that's not funny. I can see through your shit, and I'm saying this not because you're likable immediately, dude. But
All right, let's do a Patreon episode.
Why?
I'm gonna